America and Britain argued successfully against getting involved. Instead, the force was cut from 2,500 troops to just 250 after the murder of 10 Belgian soldiers. Not a single extra UN soldier or piece of military equipment reached Rwanda before the genocide ended. Seven years on, and there are 120,000 people awaiting trial for crimes committed during the genocide, including rape. But only about 200 prisoners have been convicted in the last 6 years. At that rate of progress, it would take 300 years to try all the accused. But the dying continues as women raped in the genocide become ill with AIDS.
I went to Ward 4 of Kigali's Central Hospital, unofficially known as the Women's AIDS Ward. 70% of admissions are for HIV patients. Dr. Kigami showed me around.
So how many would you have in this ward?
For example, this ward is only for women.
Right.
Normally, we have 36, 36,
Right.
36 beds, but we have around 70. You see, 2% by bed.
Here, it is 2 to a bed, as the hospital is desperately under-resourced. The drugs that could extend their lives cost $400 per person per month. But most Rwandans live on less than $1 a day. It is the mathematics of injustice. If the women lived in Britain, the NHS would provide drugs that could extend their lives for 10 to 15 years. Time to see their children grow up. Instead, they must measure out life in months. Poverty is helping to kill them. Where do you look for hope here? Well, many turn to AVEGA, the organization you have helped to fund. AVEGA is, in a small but brilliant way, able to help. On the outskirts of Kigali is a very special place. It's a village built by AVEGA specifically for the widows and their children. There are 192 women here, and each has a house of her own. The love story I spoke of at the outset is here all right. The warm arms of AVEGA spread around families where there are no dads, and where mums know they have little time left.
Everyone knows you here. Is there anyone you don't know in Rwanda?
This is where one of the widows, Jeanette, lives. Being welcomed by Jeanette, it's hard to believe what she's been through. She was raped by 9 men and now has AIDS. 5 of her 7 children were killed in the genocide. The AVEGA house she now owns has given Jeanette the chance to provide a loving home for her 2 surviving children.
In fact, the reasoning behind is so sad, because Jeanette is saying, in few months or in few years, I'm going to die. And I want to leave a proper home to my children. So anything she has, she invests in it. So that later the kids can at least rent the house, the main house. You will see in the back, I will show you the small rooms she's preparing for the children for later. And here she has a bedroom. They have daughter Jeanne, she's sick, she has malaria. And Beata is a neighbor of Jeanette. And they meet a lot. She lives here also in the village, and they meet a lot because they have all been raped, all HIV positive, and they share it between them.
Right.
Because it is not, still it is not...
Not something you talk about often.
Yeah, exactly. Sure. Even in an AVEGA village, it is not easy to share that with everybody. So they share between themselves. Yeah.
Is that there?
Okay. Jeanette says also, in fact, the idea of the chicken was because once she discovered that she was HIV positive, they told her she has to try and feed herself properly. So she said, I'm going to grow my chicken, so I don't have to buy the eggs, and at least I have the eggs and the children have them.
It seems, you know, from the people we've seen outside as well, that there's a real close community with the AVEGA people here, that they can support each other.
Mbese ubona hari ikintu twebwe umudugudu wacu utandukanyweho n'iy'abandi. Ni nayo mpamvu nakunze uyu mudugudu kurusha indi yose.
Yeah, you are right. She's saying you are right. There is something special in this village. Perhaps because they share the same problems, because it is the same fate for everybody. So there is more solidarity.
Esther, will you tell Jeanette she has the most beautiful smile in Africa?
Ngo niwe mudamu wa mbere abonye muri Afrika useka neza gutya.
Ibintu bibi bibaho n'ibyiza nagerageje kwibagiza ibi byose byabaye kugira ngo ndebe ko nagarura kongera.
If you have seen her smile before, it was even better. But she's saying, what's the point? Now she tries to smile because she has to overcome so many things. So she says, let us try smiling than crying. Yeah.
With the help of AVEGA, Jeanette has built strong walls for Emmanuel and for her daughter Jeanne. She's preparing them for the day when she'll be gone. And when that time comes, and Emmanuel becomes the head of the house, there will survive amid the pain the example of a remarkable woman. To help the children, AVEGA runs child counselling sessions. It's a place where the children can express themselves, sharing their nightmares and fears. It's a long-term commitment, and AVEGA needs more funds, but it is helping. Though they're some of the most traumatized children in the world, they're remembering how to have fun.
Amid all the horror, hope really is possible. And it is here, in AVEGA village, that Esther and AVEGA have found a place for Eugenie. Her new house is a few doors down from Jeanette, who cares for Eugenie. The tenderness of a mother to a child whose innocence was destroyed. Jeanette must help Eugenie find the will to continue living. It costs just a few £1,000s to build an AVEGA house, and Eugenie's isn't finished yet. It's simple, it's small, but for Eugenie and her brother, it is a safe place, a place to live and die in dignity. Comic relief money can make a real difference to individual lives. That's the beauty of it, a true connection between you and people like Eugenie and Jeanette. This isn't about charity, it's about recognizing our shared humanity.
The genocide happened right across Rwanda, in the most rural parts of the country. Before we left Rwanda, I wanted to take Paul to a place I knew well, half a day's drive from Kigali towards the Tanzanian border, to a remote village called Nyarabuye. Even here they have an AVEGA membership. Esther and I had been to Nyarabuye during the genocide, and we both wanted to know what had happened there since. Here at the end of a dirt road late on a summer evening 7 years ago, we crossed into a great desolation. We came in first. These were all separate rooms, full of bodies. These people had obviously run in there for protection, believing, God knows how, that they could keep the killers out. But of course they just surrounded them and butchered everybody that was there.
You have seen a few bodies in front of the church, this baby. And then you turn the corner and you just... Yeah, it hits it. Piles of bodies. You can